Welcome back, everybody, to the Oceania 4-Key World Cup 2024. Now, in today's match, this is one of the last matches in this bracket, Philippines versus Malaysia. You know, seedings don't really paint the full picture, as we've seen throughout this tournament so far, but hopefully we can get a really good match in our hands. We do have some pretty incredible players from both sides. So with that being said, I am Eliminate, of course, and I am joined with the one and only Mashed Potato. How are you doing today, Mesh?
Hello there. I'm doing great, actually. Yeah, this is the Battle of the Sea Countries. Earlier today, we actually saw another sea country that got a huge victory against South Korea, that is Thailand, making their first ever podium placement ever. The second country behind Indonesia to make it to top three as a Southeast Asian country. And now we have another Southeast Asian rivalry match between Philippines and Malaysia for a top six position in the finals weekend.
Yeah, and we did actually already see these teams play in previous rounds, and this is, of course, a loser's bracket match. So one of these teams, unfortunately, will be going home, but who will it be?
I mean, on paper, right? When you look at some of the scores, I think most would say it's Philippines. But I think that Malaysia has been one thing about Malaysia that's not been talked about as much is their consistency in how they can get a lot of two-way FCs or potentially three-way FCs. I think there's just something about them that they just don't miss, and that it's very nice to see about it. You have players like J-Lai, Yon Hong, then you have Ice to Fi and Progean Sucks, and of course you have Leon. So these players can definitely be extremely consistent, but on the other hand, Philippines have the firepower. Everyone in the team is so physically strong and can definitely play these maps in the semi pools.
Yeah, just like you were saying, on paper, it does seem like one of these teams does have a clear advantage over the other, but when you look at previous round scores, let's say quarterfinals, we can actually see that Philippines do look a bit more consistent on all these maps, but Malaysia, in their match in the other loser bracket rounds, they actually managed to trump Russia on the back of their consistent scores as well. So I think Malaysia's scores in the quarterfinals may not have been indicative of what they're capable of, and in the semifinals now, with the map pools being a bit harder, we could potentially actually see maybe another upset, as we have been seeing throughout this tournament thus far.
There's been quite a lot of quote-unquote seeding upsets throughout this tournament. Throughout this, and quite a lot of surprising results as well, and definitely in this weekend so far. Malaysia nearly sweeping Russia, and you can even say that was pretty much a sweep. The 1 point they lost on is an LN pick from Malaysia, and they definitely underperformed a bit on that LN pick, so that could have potentially been a sweep. And so, yeah, Malaysia definitely have a lot of things going for them, but they need more if they want to have a chance against the Philippines. And we can see the picks actually is that Philippines going to protect Rice 1, and they're going to ban SV2. And actually, let's see what's Malaysia protecting. I'm not sure what did Malaysia protect, but they are going to ban Rice 4, which is the Korjak map.
Yeah, now, in all honesty, I'm pretty surprised to see Philippines protecting a Rice when we take into consideration that their scores on these LN maps have been crazy good, but so have Malaysia's as well. So even though LN may be Philippines' specialty, when you compare that to Malaysia, they're probably a lot stronger in the race. And of course, Malaysia wasting no time, going straight into the LN3, and we will see if this actually pays off. I mean, this very first point on the LN can kind of decide the path going forward on who's going to pick LN, who's going to pick Rice, and maybe even pick into the hybrid. There is still an SV on the board, bear in mind. So I guess we will just have to wait and see.
That's for sure. But one thing I do want to point out, I feel like Philippines, they were hiding a bit of their scores from last match. They were not picking any of the LNs. They were only picking 2 of the 4 LNs. They were mainly picking Rice into Hong Kong, who is quite strong on Rise, so I think Philippines is definitely hiding some of the scores here. So some of the score we saw yesterday may not. They're probably going to be quite a lot of improvement from today, and we're going to see expected lineup for both Philippines and Malaysia. With Els, Livet, Planet, Philippines, and on the other hand, we'll be seeing Younghon, Jilai, and Istefan.
Yeah, and I mean, even with these very strong rosters on both sides, at this level, at this difficulty, and especially that the level that these players can play at, all it takes is one miss, as we did see in the previous match, Malaysia versus Russia, and that's how Malaysia managed to take those points. It's like the ratio can be very close, the accuracy can be very close, but it's just one miss is all it takes, and the point can go over. So, with these teams, Philippines, Malaysia, both being very good at LN. Literally, like I said, all it takes, one miss. And all players getting off to a really strong start.
Yeah, we didn't have the time to kind of touch on this map. This map is extremely technical. It is your bread and butter lemon guy LN master chart. And when it is in semifinals after all as well, so actually the patterning is so hard. The name of the game is trying to hold the transition, because there's quite a lot of like transitioning LN patternings that can catch you off guard, and at 155 BPM is definitely not a comfortable BPM to be handling these LN patterns.
Yeah, this map is very tricky, and it does turn into... There are a lot of one-hand trills in this map as well, very chokeable indeed, and this map only does sit at just under 2 minutes, 1 minute 59 seconds, already halfway through the chart, and it's just ever so slightly in Malaysia's favor, but it's just flipping back and forward into the main Ki intersection, and Jayla is the first player to find a miss.
And that's, I mean, at least you can say that is a clean miss, but there's the miss you're talking about, but it's traded by Els, and that is not good. Another drop from Els right there, and now the score lead is going right back to Malaysia, and that accuracy drop from Els is going to be quite disastrous now. And this score lead is actually big enough that you can actually afford another clean miss on any of the players from Malaysia, but right now, Younghon and Istefan is holding the fort together, and potentially might get Malaysia their first point of this match, and Els is getting another drop as well.
Yeah, we've seen this throughout the tournament already. Philippines, I do think, just managed to find those chokes on these LN maps. Maybe that's why they're opting to choose into the race, but Malaysia with the double FC matched by Philippines as well, but just on the back of those misses from Siluesca Els, those are really, really unfortunate misses, and the 5 misses compared to the 2 misses, we look at the 200 count and wow, Malaysia just looks way too strong.
Yeah, I mean, just look at those. I mean, everyone in here has a single digit 200 counts from Malaysia. Els had a bit of a struggle, maybe a bit uncomfortable when it comes to a more techie LN patterning, and I don't blame them. This is an extremely difficult map. Maybe in terms of physicality, it's not as bad, but when it comes to trying to hold down the LN and reading the patternings, it's extremely difficult. And now Philippines is insta picking on Rise 2.
Yeah, Race 2, this is not a bad pick at all. This map is mainly consistency, but only for 2 minutes. So with 266 BPM jump stream, you can run out of stamina very fast if you're not careful. And I think if Philippines managed to take a very confident lead on Race 2 of all maps, then they have a very safe choice going into Race 3 after this.
Yeah, but I think one thing to point out is that because it's actually going to be interesting to see how, because I think Malaysia is very consistent on this. I think they win this against, I'm not sure about the actual head-to-head scores, but they did beat this against Russia, who is a really strong Rise team. So it is not an easy point for Philippines. They still need to hold their combo together, and we need to see at least a 2-way full combo, or even 3-way if they want to beat against Malaysia.
Yeah, but what we have seen is the capabilities of these players' ratios, and Philippines, I think, may just have this slight edge, and as long as they can just hold that combo, that can just be enough for Philippines to take this point away from Malaysia here. But ultimately,
yeah,
with this
sure.
map only being 2 minutes, yeah, I mean, anything can happen, and even just one miss can cost so much.
I think it's a bit of a client issue trying to get Valeria in right now. But Yeah, I mean, I think for this map, I think it's one of the few maps that you can get a really strong accuracy. And Philippines, I think, definitely have the edge when it comes to accuracy. But we saw from the last map, actually, they may have a bit of an act lead at the start, but a couple of misses, a couple of just off combo rush could be the undoing. And actually, I think Leave It picked up a miss there. I don't think that is client, and the score lead already is on Malaysia's side, and 5,000 point already for Malaysia.
Yeah, like we were saying, with this map being so short, any one miss can cost a lot of points, but now we're only getting to the bulk of the map. Already a third of the way through this map is very short, and I mean, one miss is very much so tradable, and we have seen some very ugly misses throughout this tournament thus far. 5,000 score lead can really be nothing, but already approaching the halfway mark, and all these players get through that section very comfortably.
Yeah, we can see actually the accuracy lead is on Philippines, but the combo lead is definitely on Malaysia. Philippines is actually slowly clawing the score lead deficit back to Philippines right now. Before it was around 5,000, but now it's inching towards 4,000. Leave It now has picked up their accuracy up to 99.8, tying off J-Lie. But the funny thing is that is the lowest accuracy on the board right now.
Philippines with a major accuracy advantage over Malaysia, but they just need to be able to recover from that miss earlier on through the map, and there is only 30 seconds of this map left, and this is kind of the last section that we will see off this map. If we're going to see a miss, we'd see it now, and Jay is the person to find that miss on Malaysia's side. Philippines need to hold on to that combo. They have the lead now. We see some more accuracy drops from Jay, but it is traded back from Livet.
There's enough time. There's enough time for them to claw back. The combo has been completely reset. Can Malaysia take this back? There's still a bit more map left. Liva is still clawing a couple of 400 points. But the score lead is now on Philippines side. There's still a bit more map left. Oh, the score is inching towards Malaysia, but that's going to be Philippines with their first point of the match.
That was looking very scary towards the end there. I look at these ratios from the Philippines side. Very, very good team score besides those misses that we did see there from Live. And unfortunately, we did see one towards the start, and that did cost a lot of points, but with Jay finding that miss towards the end, that was just enough to give it back to Philippines, really. And this is what I've been talking about. Even though one team can have a much better accuracy than the other, one miss, especially at this difficulty of map pools, that can be the deciding factor. Malaysia going straight into LN4, especially after their LN3 pick, winning on that. I think they are starting to feel a little bit more confident into picking these more difficult, maybe a bit sketchy LN picks.
Yeah, but I actually don't like this pick too much based on just past team scores. Philippines did beat out Malaysia when it comes to head-to-head on this LN4 pick on yesterday's match. So yeah, this is going to... I think that means that Malaysia feels like they actually underperformed a lot compared to yesterday's match. But they really need to step up because Philippines' LN lineup is very scary. Els, Silicosis 2, and Livet, they are extremely strong LN players. Els especially. I think the last LN pick was a bit of an underperformance.
Yeah, but I do agree with what you're saying, but when you look at LN1 and LN2, maybe on the more accuracy side of things, and when you're playing against Philippines, I mean, if both teams manage to get their triple fill combos, Philippines does look very strong. So maybe LN4 is kind of Malaysia's last more physical pick. And I know LN2 is more jump stream. You could say that is physical, but it is definitely more accuracy focused in my opinion.
Yeah. And we're going to be seeing Leon coming in, who has been I think one of the only player to stay on this roster ever since Malaysia made it to top 3 in 4K MWC in 2021. So it's good to see some veteran player in here as well.
Yeah, we have seen stuff like this from other teams as well, but Leon, I think may have already crashed. But besides that, Philippines up there, very strong start.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a restart, if it's a restart, I think it's probably valid because it's very early into the map. But just look at the accuracy on Philippines. Oh, we're gonna be seeing a bit of a desync right now. But as far as we can see right now, Philippines definitely have it in accuracy. This is such a concentrated accuracy right now on Philippines, averaging at around 99.73%, 75% actually.
Oh, but Silicosis 2 is the first one to find that miss, and Yeonhong, I mean, it's already down to 99.2% accuracy, but still holds that full combo. I don't think that miss from Silicosis 2 would be enough to give it back. It's still a bit
Oh, not
uncertain
yet.
because of the desync from Leon there, but still, I think Philippines do just have that lead.
That's for sure. But actually though, oh, I think that was a client miss from Silicosis too. Never mind.
Yeah, well, the climate. So Philippines looking. This is kind of their map. I mean, this map is 3.5 minutes, but still, even with the length of this map, they're all holding onto that combo, and so are Malaysia though. But just with the accuracy disadvantage there, Philippines should have a pretty strong lead.
I think this is what I've been saying before, right? Philippines definitely they have such an extreme edge towards against Malaysia when it comes to pure accuracy, but it's just their combos not holding together. But once they get their combos together, that's when things get scary. And I don't think there's going to be many teams that can beat Philippines if they are consistent on their combos right now. And you can see right now, it's still a free 6-way full combo. And we're approaching to the third half, and Leon actually picks up a miss.
Yeah, Leon actually the first miss in this lobby, and they were also holding really good accuracy, sitting at their 99.7, but now already down to 99.5 on the back of that. And when you have a 99.5 and 99.3 on your team versus Philippines, almost triple 99.7, yeah, that is a really big lead. And
Oh
Yeonhong actually
no!
finding a miss at the break section. That is
That
not where you want to miss.
honestly, this is not the first time we saw someone missing on that section. I think the rapid trigger does do something. Kiruru actually missed on that exact section, previously as well. A bit of a mind block pattern right there, and now that is free FCs to 1. And we can see why Philippines is one of the best LN team out there. Their averaging still is 99.7. This is looking like a very solid team score from Philippines right now.
Yeah, and just a reminder that this is Malaysia's picking into Philippines here, and this is what we were talking about, how Philippines are just really strong on LN, but yet they opt to pick into Rice. Maybe LN3 was just a mistake with the drops from Philippines there, but yeah, I mean, Philippines with a really good team score there, and Malaysia having a really hard time to match that, and I think most teams would.
Yeah. Oh, J-Lie though, with such a low 200 counts with 2. Very commendable. Um, and yeah, this is just a very solid team score in general, above 2.97. Actually, any LN score that is above 2.97 million is just going to be pretty much unbeatable in this weekend. And Leon actually finishing there with a 984k, very solid score. That 50 may have been a bit of a blimp, but in general, it wouldn't have done too much seeing the scores on Philippines side.
Yeah, I mean, Philippines are just ahead in everything really in that map. They had combo, they had accuracy, and ultimately Malaysia, there's not really much they could have done about that. Even if they all full comboed, the accuracy, the 200 count as well, not even just the ratio, they they were just so far behind on LN4. And if you're Malaysia, now it's like, what do we pick next? And Philippines is just giving you no time, going straight into idol of all maps. I mean, they could have picked another LN if they felt that confident after playing LN4, but no,
Yeah.
they do opt for this instead.
I think one very interesting to point out on Philippine side is they have a separate three-man lineup for LN and for Rice. Every time they pick Rice or every time they pick LN, they switch all of their free players. And so I think this is you said before about the speed of their pick, right? If they pick it instantly, the other team who relies on anchors. You see, J-Line has been there for quite a lot of maps already. They do not have time to rest. So this could be Philippines' tactic of trying to tire some of the players out.
And with it being a rice map as well, Malaysia may actually be picking maybe hybrid, maybe rice, but I can't really see them choosing another LN. So with Malaysia, they will now need to take a breakpoint off one of these rice maps, and Idol might be the one to go for. 3 minutes 20 seconds, 174 BPM, and this map I believe is just heavy dump stream.
Oh yeah, this is your Dark Star Dumbstream map. He has been a contributor towards those vocal dubs maps, and this is going to be very difficult. And with the map being at 3 minutes and 20 seconds, there's gonna be so many places where you can get a dirty combo break.
Well, certainly, these things can happen anywhere throughout the map, and we have actually seen some misses towards the intro there, but not in this match. Everyone holding pretty much 99.7 across the board here. Levet is actually just a bit below that, but still it is way too early to call anything. This 400-point lead really is nothing. It's only a few marvelous of a difference. I mean, that's even 1-200.
That's for sure, and we're not even in the course yet where the maps gets even more difficult. Right now, this is just kind of the warm-up before, or the calm before the storm. And here we go, here's the build-up to... Is that 50 points? Oh, it was dead even. Oh my god, do you see it?
Very close, and we are now into the first Ki. Progen Sucks is the first player to find that miss, and this map is very long, so maybe that won't play much of a factor, but as long as Philippines hold on strong, they will take a very comfortable lead of 7,000 points this early on, but Forcan is the one to trade it back.
Now, I would say Progen Sucks' job is much more dirty, down to 99.5, but Forcan miss barely changed his accuracy. 99.72, still above Progen Sucks and J-Lai, so definitely when it comes to the miss count, they're tied, but the accuracy lead for Philippines still hold on to their side. And now here we have a bit of a solo section. Shouldn't be too difficult, but we saw some people dropping on this, but everyone still hold on to the combo. And now we're back to the Ki section. Things are getting quite scary now. The gun pattern is not holding back.
Yeah, and Forcan's miss was a client miss, in fact, so Philippines still holding on to that triple FC. Progen Sucks finds yet another miss on this map, maybe proving why Philippines are choosing into this rice, and Progen Sucks just having a really rough time, but regardless of that, you have Icefy and J-Lai really trying to click onto that, but Philippines holding on to that triple 99.7. Even if everyone was full comboing in this lobby, Philippines would just have that strong accuracy advantage over Malaysia, and Malaysia just really need to hope for Philippines to have a collapse here, but 22,000 points might just be a bit too much to ask for.
Yeah, it's quite sad to see when you see players like Icefy who's holding the fort against Valeria, but it's just the other two players on Philippines side that is outscoring Progen Sucks and J-Lai. This team score for Malaysia is still quite strong, but when you're going against Philippines, where you see their accuracy is now averaging around 99.77, that looks very dire right now for Malaysia. The destiny is now on Philippines' hands.
Into the closing section of this map, there really is not long left. If we're going to see misses from Philippines, it needs to happen now, but it seems very unlikely. Everyone's still just holding on to that combo with really high accuracies, and if you're Malaysia, what more can you do besides pray at this point? It seems very unlikely.
Yeah, even if you pray, I don't think you can do too much against this amazing team score. That is going to be... I don't want to say too early just yet. I'm just going to wait until the map finish. Okay, that is going to be a back-to-back three-way full combo for Philippines. From LN4 to Rise 6. What more you can do against this?
Wow, these 200 counts from the Philippines there. Icefy trying his damnedest to match this, but when you have 3 200s across your entire team score, I mean, what more can you do? That is a really strong team score from Philippines, and really showing themselves to be good on both Rice and LN. Definitely a team to be wary of.
That is for sure. And now Malaysia's they're just thinking what they can pick now. Allen's not an avenue, Rice not an avenue. Maybe think about picking SV this early on as kind of a way to reset everything, or even going to the War of the Hybrids.
Yeah, Philippines did ban SV too, so maybe Malaysia could capitalize on that. Maybe they think Philippines may not put in much practice into the SV. We have seen that a lot throughout the tournament where these things happen. Malaysia, I would not blame them if they chose SV1. I would take that as an actual approach, but no, instead, hybrid 2. We are going to be testing the waters here. We have not seen a hybrid this match thus far.
And it's going to be an also original. It's going to be your GZ Dongsheng hybrid map. If you have seen a couple of his ranked map, this is going to be a difficult. He has always been making really difficult hybrid maps, and now making a splash within the semifinals map pool in this iteration. And this is not going to be easy. This is a mini Jack fest.
I think maybe Malaysia trying to play more on the physicality side, but we did see on Idol that maybe it might not be the correct call, but with hybrid, like I said, we've not seen hybrid yet this match, so these things can still happen. If Malaysia do manage to take points on the hybrid, then they will most likely keep picking into that, and Philippines, I do think they've got a very open path and they know exactly what they're going to be picking next. They've kind of got LN and Rice on lockdown. So hybrid, if it's going to happen, Malaysia, they need to take these points.
Yeah, but this is going to be, I feel like this is going to be quite risky, because if Malaysia does lose this, then what else can they choose on now? Now that, you know, Rice backfired a bit, LN also has backfired. So they really need to win on this, or else they're going to be very suffocated when it comes to their picks.
Yeah, if they lose on this, then I think they will just have to be playing on the back of Philippines missing, but it doesn't seem likely in the fact that they've been triple FCing some of these maps. And yet again, this map is over 3 minutes long, so we have yet another somewhat of a marathon, I guess you could say, ahead of us, and we could most likely see the winner of this map early on, because this map does not let go.
Again, this is your typical GZ Dongsheng hybrid map, and you can see already the intro is definitely not holding back. Starting out strong already. Everyone above 99.7. J-Live having the lowest accuracy right now. Everyone, and Icefy as well, actually.
Very early accuracy lead. I mean, even with that lead towards Malaysia here, it's still swaying back and forth. And we are only now getting into this somewhat of a mini Jack section, and we see some accuracy drops there from Yeonhong and Jayla, and throughout the entire team of Malaysia. Philippines still have 2 players on that 99.8% accuracy, giving a somewhat close 2,000 point lead advantage in their favor.
This accuracy already for Philippines right now. They're all at 99.78. All tied accuracy right now for Philippines. On the other side, Yeonhong actually catching up to Philippines. It's only just Yeonhong right now. Daylight and Icefy just a bit behind, but they're still within reaching distance against Philippines. If any of the players in the Philippines side does miss, Malaysia can definitely run away with this. But that is actually quite a tall order asking Philippines to miss, since they have not missed yet for the past 3 maps.
Asking Philippines to miss, yeah, like you said, might be a tall order, but Malaysia still trying their best with their... Everyone in this lobby is full comboing. One miss can actually just sway it back that easily with the 2,000 point lead still over halfway through the map. Now it's down to 600. We see a miss from Plata there. That might actually be the beginning of the end. Malaysia might be able to take their point.
Wait, hold on. Just hold on for a bit right now, because Plata's actually missed. The Plata's miss actually very clean. It's only down to 99.65, so actually they could crawl their accuracy back just a bit if Malaysia is a bit reckless when it comes to their release. Philippines could take the points back, and we can see right now, but Plata missing there is not helping out for Philippines. Malaysia could actually take back another breakpoint, a breakpoint that they really needed with a 3-way full combo from Malaysia. Oh, it's still getting so close right now. Malaysia definitely needs to hold on to their accuracy and their combo.
Into the closing section of the map, misses are still bound to happen. 4,000 point lead, and does not seem likely. It seems like Malaysia will actually get their first point since the beginning of this match.
What? Okay, that's not enough. Not yet.
Okay, yeah, that was a little bit scary there.
Yeah, that was way too scary. If that was... okay, no. You cannot just do that, Icefy. You cannot just do that. That could have been
What
that could have been scary.
if if Philippines took that point because of those misses at the end, that would have been something else. But Malaysia, with that 5,000 point lead down to 1,000, he gave them 4,000 points in those final few seconds of the map. Okay, I don't think I've seen that before. But Malaysia still barely managing to take that, thankfully.
Yeah, but now it's actually dead even now. Both teams traded their breakpoints now. Malaysia um can definitely just even out the match with a good pick. And oh, actually, hold on. Oh no, that was not Philippines pick. My bad. That was Malaysia's pick. So okay, so they are still one breakpoint behind. I thought it was Philippines pick.
Yeah, Malaysia chose that hybrid. We've not seen the hybrid yet, so yeah, testing the waters. They lost on LN, they lost on Rice, so hybrid might actually be the way to go from this point on. And Philippines going straight into Rice 1. I think after playing Rice 6, Rice 1 is a definite good choice for Philippines.
Yeah, the streamy patterns of Rice 6 is very similar to Rice 1, and Philippines had an ungodly score in Rice 1. I think they got nearly 2.98 million on Rice 1, while Malaysia only scored 2.954 million. So that is a 25,000 point difference from their last performance. So yeah, this kind of makes sense why Philippines are picking this. They have such a solid Rice lineup. But that's not saying Malaysia is weak either. They do have a strong lineup, and we saw before, accuracy, sure, Philippines may win on the accuracy field, but it's all about the combo. Any misses could determine this, and especially if the miss is a dirty miss, because this map does not hold back.
Yeah, we've seen it throughout the match thus far. These misses are very costly, and Malaysia going into Rice 1, maybe take a lesson from Rice 6. Maybe really try to focus on this map. And this map is much shorter than Rice 6 was. Rice 6 was over 3 minutes. This map is 2.5 minutes, so it's not going to be as intense, but Rice 1 being a dedicated speed map, I think these chokes are more prone to happen when you compare it to Rice 6 and already getting into the map.
Yeah, this does not start any easier. We see Proteans is going to have a bit of an accuracy dropping out right now down to 99.4% accuracy. Way below compared to the rest of the Philippines. I actually leave it now below to 9.7 as well.
Those accuracy drops, that is going to give an early lead to Philippines here. And like I said, with this map being so short, that is not a lead you want to be giving, but it is still within reach. Philippines can find those misses and ultimately give a pretty big lead back to Malaysia.
Yeah. And here we go, the Trills leading straight into the chorus. As we said before, there's no break. If you think you're gonna get any breaks at this map, think again, because there's going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds of uninterrupted 360 BPM streams, and everyone is still holding right now. Ice Device leading with 99.88%, holding down the fort against Valeria, but Yang Hao is going to miss. Oh, that is such a dirty miss. Oh, okay, that is going to be quite irrecoverable right there for Malaysia. Now they need Philippines to have an equally disastrous drop, but I don't think that's going to be possible.
That miss was very bad. We've seen, I think it was a few misses. They almost looked like a column lock, but they also dropped a lot of accuracy straight after as well. And ultimately, 33,000 points, we're going to need to see something really bad from Philippines. And I don't think that is very likely, especially coming from a team like Philippines. Very consistent, very strong, especially after that performance on Rice 6, but still definitely doable on a map like this. Like you said, 360 BPM streams. Anything can happen. It's very chokeable. Stamina does play a big factor as well.
That is for sure, but they need something from Philippines. But we saw already, Philippines they do drop, but they only drop cleanly. They do not get a little dirty drop, and Projects that's gonna drop right there, and I think that's basically seals the deal for Philippines to get their 4th point. That is a 52,000 point lead, and it's still increasing. 4Cat does miss. Ooh, actually, that's a quite dirty miss, but he still actually hold his footing together. And that's basically it for Philippines with a near 2.97 million team score. And that's going to be their 4th point for Philippines.
Malaysia with the V1 double F and leave that very close behind with 1-200. What can you really do against this team? Even if Malaysia had their triple FC, and even with 4Ken missing, I think it's still possible that Philippines could have taken that point regardless with that incredible team accuracy there. And now Malaysia, like we've been saying, they need to get that one breakpoint back, but Philippines, they've only got a few picks left. Malaysia, you need to win all your points and take back a breakpoint, and even then, there's only 2 hybrids to pick from. If they want to keep going into the hybrids, this is a very scary game for Malaysia.
That's for sure, and you gotta think about it as well. Philippines they don't need to pick just Rice. They also have the 2 LN picks to rely on as well. So just knowing how well-rounded the Philippine team is, they can just pick anything they want. For me, I think they should take a tactical timeout to think about it. Should they go for, in my opinion, hybrid 3 would be a shout.
I think any of the hybrids could be good, and even the SV. The SV is still there, but no timeout called, no hybrid, no SV. We are seeing LN2, Dream and Attraction. Do we think this is a good pick?
I'm very mixed on this. So last match, Malaysia did have an okay score, but they did lose to Russia, who is, I would say, not one of the top LN teams. And Philippines, on the other hand, they are just sharpshooting when it comes to LN picks as well. And this map is not easy at all. This is not a standard LN density pick. This has a couple of 1-6 burst rate layered in between the LN density patterns, and we saw Leon struggling quite a bit on that map yesterday. And Jayla did pick up a couple of misses as well. And we saw already, Philippines, they're going to get at least 2 full combo on this map, on these sorts of map. It's not hard enough for them just yet, and we're going to be seeing Silicosis 2, Els, and Leave It. This is the LN lineup for Philippines. Malaysia is going to be seeing Leon, Jaylai, and Yong Hong, just as expected. So yeah, we'll see. I hope I am wrong on my analysis, but I don't think this is a good pick for Malaysia.
Yeah, I will agree with you there. I mean, even LN as a whole, as a category, maybe Malaysia should start trying to avoid, but they did take a point from one of the other LN picks, so I mean, it is still kind of up in the air. But LN2, like you say about the burst, it is definitely very chokeable, but ultimately at the end of the day, this map still is just mostly kind of jump stream and more accuracy focused, which is why I believe Philippines might have the upper edge, and Malaysia maybe just praying that Philippines do find those misses on those bursts.
Yeah. But that's, again, hoping Philippines missing is quite a difficult task, and you also need to hold on your own ground as well.
Yeah, and especially even if all players in this lobby manage to full combo, you still have Philippines who have really shown themselves to be very strong in accuracy, both with 200 count and ratio. Both together, Philippines have shown to be really strong. Malaysia needing to match that on a map like this, maybe LN2, not the greatest.
Leon, not again, Leon. Come on, you cannot do this. Okay, we're probably just gonna be waiting for Leon, and probably we'll be seeing another desync. In the meantime, though, the accuracy is actually quite good for the bottom row right now for Malaysia. Is actually doing really well. 99.85 and 8-1 for Jayla is actually beating out all of the Philippines accuracy. We have to wait for what Leon's accuracy is, but right now it's looking quite good for Malaysia.
We are going to get an abort. That did look like a really strong start for Malaysia there, but unfortunately Leon was not able to play. They were in fact stuck on, I am guessing, the waiting for player screen, so we will get a restart. And if Malaysia can get a start like that again, they can get a pretty good early lead against Philippines, and if they can hold that throughout the map, this map is only 2 minutes long, one of the short maps in the pool. Oh, okay, maybe this isn't actually a bad pick for Malaysia.
Yeah, maybe it's not, maybe we're just a bit wrong, but we have to wait and see. I also would like to point out that there's also another match ongoing right now that is Japan and China, and it's now tied 3-3. And I do think, in my opinion, that match would also go. I think that match has a very high chance of going to a tiebreaker, seeing the dynamics between these two teams. A hybrid LN team that is China against a Rice team that is Japan.
Very close match indeed, and when you even compare that to this match, Philippines-Malaysia, Malaysia do manage to take this point. All it takes is one break point, and it could be the same story. We could actually be seeing another tiebreaker here. I think it is entirely possible, but Malaysia, I think this might be one of the most important picks to take a point on. And we were talking about maybe LN2, not the wisest map to pick if you're Malaysia, but they definitely know what they're doing. They wouldn't pick this if they didn't have confidence in it. And as
That's
we've
for
seen in
sure.
that first couple of seconds in the before the restart, Malaysia can act this.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. And we can see now everyone's actually doing very well, as expected. These two teams are really good at LNs. So we might be seeing just a 6-way full combo, who knows, with like a 2.97 million team score. You can see everyone's starting up really well. Leon at 99.86, way above everyone else right now.
I'm surprised Malaysia have already got this really big lead. I thought Philippines may have been a little bit more comfortable with these types of maps, but already a quarter of the way through the map, like I said, this map is very short, and this lead already towards Malaysia can show that they can act, but Leon will be the first to miss, and it's a really miss.
Oh, that is disastrous. That is a 12,000 point swing right there for Malaysia, and that is not looking good right now. They need someone to drop as hard as Leon right there. Silicosis did have a client miss, so 2-3 away from... That is not a client miss from Silicosis, and the score leads now going back towards Malaysia just a bit, but they need another miss actually, because Leon's miss was so catastrophic that one clean miss is not enough. They need more.
Oh, and we do get it. Silicosis 2 with another miss right before the break. And let's just take a moment to appreciate these accuracies from these players here. We have Livet, Silhouette Els trying to match Yeonhong and J-Lai, but ultimately, these accuracies from Yeonhong and J-Lai are very good. Leon just needs to gain back that score, but Yeonhong actually finds a miss for Malaysia there, and that's going to be really bad. There's only a quarter of the map left. We need to see some more misses from Philippines, but Livet and Silhouette Els look to be performing very well. I don't think misses will be coming out, but entirely possible.
We're approaching the end of the map. That needs to come as soon as possible, but I don't think it's gonna come. Oh, Silhouette does miss, but that is way too late. There's no more map left. And that is going to be Philippines' pick and another breakpoint. Oh, that drop from Leon was definitely the undoing. If it was a clean drop, that would have been it for Malaysia, but that drop was just so rough for Leon right there. 350 and 3 misses all in one second, and that is the undoing for Malaysia. And Philippines now 5-2 ahead with 2 breakpoints.
Look at this 200 count and the ratio as well. It is just 1-1. All of these scores very matched. I think if there were no misses in this lobby, this would have been a couple 100 points of a difference.
Oh yeah, that's
very
for sure.
Close.
The ratios, the number of 300, 200 is basically the same. You can have a couple of math nerds to like calculate what would the score be if it's all full combo, but I do agree with you. This could have been extremely close, and now Els is actually going to go for rice-free black chocolate.
After playing Rice 2, I mean, Rice 3, sure. Rice 3 is very similar to Rice 2 in the sense that it's just basically non-stop jump stream, but with Rice 3, I think there are a few more breaks, but what it comes down to, bottom line, is the accuracy. On a map like this map is much lower BPM than Rice 2 as well, so it's really just a consistency test.
Yeah, that is for sure. And also the important thing is how well can you... Okay, at the start, maybe everyone's accuracy is quite high, but it's more about how well you can hold maybe after the last quarter, because that's when you use most of your stamina, and that's when you can get some really disgusting drops right there as well.
Now I mean, we can definitely see things like this happening again, where these players managing to find these really ugly misses throughout the match, and we've seen it plenty of times throughout this match already. I am not going to go ahead and say that Philippines have got a very big advantage on this map, but Malaysia most certainly are definitely capable of taking a point on this. But unfortunately now, because they lost on that LN2 pick, they will need to take 2 breakpoints from Philippines, and that is a hard task.
Yeah, I do agree with you. But the true question is, when will we have our first SV pick? But that question aside, we're going into our eighth pick and potentially match point for Philippines. If they do win this, and that's going to be quite dangerous for Malaysia.
Will be very dangerous indeed. They will need to win 4 picks in a row, and 2 of them being breakpoints. But let's just kind of focus on what we have on our hands right now. We see Progen sucks with that early accuracy dropped already down to 99.7, and a miss already in just the first couple of seconds in this map. Now, the nice thing is that because it's the very start, it's not going to have a huge consequence, but that is not a lead you want to be giving to Philippines this early, being 3 points down.
Yeah, that's for sure. And considering that, it's also quite a disgusting accuracy drop as well. So if you look at the side of Philippines right now, they're averaging nearly above 99.9. Like, what can you do about that? Of course, it's just the start, and there's still around 3,000 more notes to come. So there's still a lot more to say about this performance of Philippines right now, but it's looking good for Philippines. A 7,000 point lead on a map this long is already looking quite good for Philippines.
And Shoegazer's styles map is somewhat of just a generic jump stream pick, but there are a lot of one-hand trills that can definitely catch you off guard. But when you look at this 7,000 point lead, I think even if one of these players choke on these trills, it's still not going to be enough. Philippines have just got a very strong accuracy lead already, and that's still increasing at that. When you have 3 players above 99.8 and Malaysia with only 1, you're going to need to see quite a few drops from Philippines. And ultimately, this is their pick after their performance on Rice 2 as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that either. And what we can say right now is actually Pojins are picking up another miss. They're not having a good time right now on this pick, and there's still more than half of the map left. There's still so much more, and the accuracy continues to drop. Maybe a bit of stamina degradation right now.
It's not being very long, and on top of that, the nerves as well from playing in this MWC setting can really settle in, and with that stamina, like you said as well, playing a factor, can be very difficult to maintain this combo. But when you have 5 players as well managing to hold on, it's a very good fight that Malaysia are putting up. But Progen sucks with those misses towards the start of the map and throughout the map as well. With a 20,000 point lead, you cannot win off of accuracy alone here. Philippines need to find those misses, but all of them still on that 99.8 or above. It does not seem like they're going to miss anytime soon.
Yeah, we can see the UR bar is so dead right in the center right now. The concentrated accuracy, they are not giving up an inch from Malaysia right now. They're just steamrolling straight through, straight ahead to a match point right now. A miss on Protean subs is not making us any better right now. Nearly a 30,000 point lead. We can't even say right now that is a point for Philippines, unless there's someone disconnected or just have a catastrophic drop, but I don't think that's going to happen for Philippines, considering how strong they are. And we're going to be seeing probably one of the best team score on Rice 3. We just have to wait to see if we're going to be seeing a three-way full combo. A few more seconds left, and that is a near 2.99 million team score for Philippines with only 1,200.
Oh my goodness. Double V1, double S as a team score, and your third player with 1,200. I mean, look at the ratio from Forcan and Valeria as well. Definitely a very hard team score to be. And if you're Malaysia, I would probably be thinking, okay, Rice 2, Rice 3 out of the way, okay? After losing Rice 2, it's like, Rice 3 is just consistency. It's kind of the same thing. I guess you would somewhat expect to lose that point. But now, Philippines are going to need to pick more into the physicality Rice maps if they don't choose LN. And Malaysia, you need 4 points. So are we going to see an SV pick? Or is it just going to be hybrids?
I think it's going to be SV, I'll be honest with you. I think, sure, it is 50-50, but the other maps are stacked heavily against you right now, considering how Philippines are doing. They're just getting triple FCs right now, and that's just not good for Malaysia. So maybe just switch the pace of the match a bit with an SV chart, and they are quite strong on SV as well. So I think it would be not bad of a pick, but I wouldn't hate if they pick the hybrids or LNs either. But I feel like Philippines are momentum is just so strong right now. Also, in my opinion, if Malaysia does win their points, and it's going to be a timeout, yeah, they need to consider about this. Their tournament lifeline is on the line right now.
Yeah, I think even considering their performance on Hybrid 2, I really wouldn't be surprised if they did opt to choose Hybrid 1 or Hybrid 3. But ultimately, the bottom line is, if they do choose SV and manage to take the point, and then they still manage to take a breakpoint from Philippines, they're going to need to pick one of the hybrids regardless. So it really comes down to what are they most comfortable on just now.
I don't know. I really don't know. And you gotta think about Philippines. So they have 2 more Rise pick, and Rise 7 is actually quite similar to Rise 3 and Rise 2 in terms of the kind of the pattern structuring. So, and considering how dominant the Philippines was, it's going to be a very hard battle for Malaysia to win back against the Philippines. We'll have to wait and see. I do want to see an SV pick though. I think that would make the most sense, but also picking SV when you're 6-2 down feels like a huge gamble. But at this point, you're gonna need a gamble and win that gamble to take back the match.
Yeah, and you also need to take into account that Philippines did ban SV2. So with them banning that, we don't know how much practice they have on SV1. I mean, they could have just opted to only practice SV1 and not look at SV2, hence why they banned it. But I think that'd be a very risky move from Philippines. So maybe choosing to ban SV2 is a good indicator for Malaysia to pick SV1 here. But I mean, like you say, with there's 2 Rice maps left, we have Rice 5, Rice 7, and Rice 5 I do think could be very risky for Philippines. This map is very physical and these misses can happen.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. I think they're definitely picking SV. They're calling a timeout to maybe practice the SV maps as well. That's quite a common tactic that teams are doing nowadays, where they call a timeout so they have more time to learn, remind themselves of the ghost tapping. And especially for this map, there's a lot of ghost nodes, so they really need to make sure they know when are these ghost nodes appearing.
Yeah, definitely a strategy, like you said, that we do see a lot throughout this tournament. This timeout does actually come in very handy with moments like these, but also a Hybrid 1 actually be chosen, not SV1, so they did just use that time to talk over with their team, and like we were saying, maybe they will pick SV next regardless. If they do manage to take this point and a break point, that does give the other players more time to go over and practice it. So yeah. Hybrid 1 actually doesn't seem like too bad of an option.
Yeah, that's for sure. And, well, this is going to be a 2-minute map. It's a very short map and a very dense map as well. There's going to be no break. Absolutely no break at all. And there's going to be such dense shield patternings as well. So, we're going to need to be seeing Malaysia on their A games, potentially on a freeway full combo to be able to face against Philippines right now. We're, as we said before, extremely strong on any maps that they're picking against the Philippines right now. And we're going to see the A team of Malaysia rise to fight Yonghong and J-Lai against Plana, Livet, and Forken. Oh, actually, Forken's going to be subbed out. Maybe for... Oh, no, never mind. It's going to be Forken. Okay.
And Malaysia, coming from that Russia match yesterday as well, they did show really good consistency just throughout the match in general. We're going to need to see that consistency come back, and if anything, even better as well to match Philippines. With how they've been performing this match, you will need your triple full combo. And especially on Hybrid 1 of all maps, Philippines, they've still got 2 maps, but you shouldn't really think too far ahead. You should just focus on what you have at hand now. Try take 1 point at a time. And Hybrid 1 is going to potentially be the start of that.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we'll have to wait and see. This is now Malaysia's tournament life on the line right now. 1 more loss for Malaysia means they're out of this tournament, and that is not what you want if you're a fan of Malaysia. You want to see a tiebreaker going through. And here we go, the 9th pick.
Yeah, this accuracy very much so balanced on both sides. We see J-Lai and Plata jump a little bit of accuracy there, but it is most definitely matched, with Malaysia taking the very slight accuracy advantage. And I think we have seen that throughout this entire match, where Malaysia do manage to take that early lead on the back of that accuracy, but it always manages to find a way to sway itself back. Malaysia needs to make sure that doesn't happen. It already happens.
Yeah, a bit of accuracy drop from Icebai and J-Line right now. Icebai down to 99.6, and really look at on the other hand, we can see right now. Ooh, actually leave it with a miss, and now the score is going back to Malaysia potentially. But that is such a clean miss right now. I think the score is gonna go back to Philippines as soon as leave it. Actually, the score is not even gonna go to Malaysia. It's just the accuracy lead from Philippines is so strong right now.
It is very much so balanced. Levet does manage to get above that 400 combo cap, meaning all the score that we get now will be evenly balanced towards both teams, and Philippines does just have that 1,000 point lead over halfway through the map. The map is under 2 minutes long, I remind you, so one miss can be the be-all end-all at this moment. And this is the main KI of the chart as well, and Levet does find a very disgusting miss, and that's going to be a huge advantage back to Malaysia.
Oh, but they need to hold on. Icebai with a clean miss though. They can still do this. They just need to hold on together just a bit more. Icebai is dropping so much, down to 99.4 right now. They need to hold together. Oh, yo, with a miss. Oh no. That's going to be disastrous. Is there going to be any more misses? I think that's going to it. Just a beautiful patching.
The double miss from Icebai and Yeonhong right at the very end. They had a very good lead going into the exit of the map, but ultimately that is going to cost them. That was so close up until the very end there. On the back of Levet's really nasty misses towards the chart. I thought that was going to be it. I thought Malaysia had that entryway to get back into the match, but unfortunately it just was not meant to be.
Yeah. And I'll be honest as well, even if Malaysia does win this, it's going to be a very tall order for them to win the other two Rice pick that the Philippines will pick. But I think Malaysia should be proud of themselves. They have a whole squad rebuilt with some new players like Young Hong, Projian Sucks. So the new generations of Malaysia is actually getting quite strong right now, and with a top 8 placement, I think they should be proud of themselves of where they are at right now. But on the other hand, congratulations to Philippines on making it to the finals weekend. I think this is a very scary lineup to see right now. They're so well-rounded on everything. All 6 players can just dish out an extremely good score. So this is a team that could potentially make it to the podium. We have to see next weekend, but I think that is it for us. Do you have anything else do you want to add, Eliminate?
Yeah, I want to say it's very unfortunate to see one of these teams go home. Both of them played superbly, and even yesterday as well, in yesterday's matches, both teams played very great. But there is one last thing that I would like to mention, and I feel like I'm obliged to mention. Batters, support your team!
Yeah, you can do the batters.
Okay. So you can support your country. Now there is only a few weeks left of the tournament, but that does not mean that you shouldn't buy batters. So if your team manages to win the World Cup, what happens, Smash?
Yeah, so if your team does manage to win the World Cup, you get to keep it for another year until the next MWC iteration. So you can get to keep a very nice banner on you. It's gonna look pretty in your profile. But you can also there's also no restriction on your profile. So if you want to go all out on your profile, you can buy as many banners as you want. It's only $2, $2.50, so it's not going to be a huge financial commitment. So if you want to support the tournament organization and the Mania scene, go ahead to the Osu store page, and there will be a banner section where you can buy the banners. Even you can also buy the banners of teams that has already been eliminated as well.
And with that closing remark, we will be ending stream now, so make sure to head towards the A stream where we have Japan versus China. Maybe coming to a close. The scoreline right now is 3-6, but yeah, we will see you there, and shortly after will be the finals map pool showcase. Take care, guys.
Bye bye.